Hello, my name is Jackson, and today we're gonna talk about how to search legal changes in SAP Support Portal. This SAP quick tip is very important, especially if you work in SAP for countries which have often legal changes like Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, India, Poland. Maybe your country don't have so many legal changes often like these countries, but it's important to monitor and follow up the legal changes that SAP is launching. The world is facing a lot of change, especially related to compliance, and it's very difficult for global customers to keep tracking of all new legal changes and the related SAP functionality or notes for the same. Imagine that you work for supporting of a global company with plants spread across several countries, and your client expect you to monitor and plan the implementation of legal changes notes on time. So you have a required date to transport all the changes and make this available for the users in production environment, and you cannot fail. This has now become simplified with launch of legal change application in SAP Support Launchpad. In this video, I will explain about how to search and monitor these legal changes. First of all, I will explain how to add the tile of announcement of SAP legal changes. First, you need to enter in the website of Support SAP Launchpad and click in Access My Launchpad. Probably, if you are not logged in, it will ask your password and as user. So you need to have as user to access the SAP Launchpad support. Here you can see all the tiles that are already available for you. In my case, I already have the announcement of legal changes, but in your case, if you don't have, you need to click here in Personalize and try to find a legal app. Here we have two different apps, and we want to add the announcement of legal changes. You can click in Assign Groups in this flag, and you can choose the group that you want to add your app of SAP legal changes. So I want to add in my home, and click and save. And when you go back to your home, my home group, you can see the announcement of legal change. Then moving forward to the next step, you can click in announcement of legal changes. In the next screen, you can see this report for SAP legal changes. In this report, you have several filters like the country region, the SAP component, the customer completion status. Basically, you can change the status if you already implemented or is in process or not relevant for you, and something like that. Keywords that you want to use to search a specific legal change, the product that's on-premise, S/4HANA Cloud, SAP Business by Design, SAP Success Factors, so you can choose the solution and the product. The planned delivery date, and you can choose a range of dates if you want. Publication date, and the customer systems. Below, you have the same columns with basically the same information, the legal name of the change, SAP solution status, if it is available, if it's out of scope, or SAP is planning to deliver, The last change is the planned delivery date, in case that SAP it's not make available yet. So this is the planned delivery date, so you can follow up. Publication date and complexity. So let's see example for Brazil. You can choose Brazil here and go. Here we can see the last legal change that SAP launched to Brazil. If you click here, you open the SAP note and you can take a look if it is interesting for you or not, for your company. Also, for example, for SD NFE 4.0, that was the last layout for Nota Fiscal Brazil, you can click in Available and you can see all the SAP notes related to this change. And if you click in the SAP note, you go directly for the SAP note. In the header of the SAP notes, you can also check important information like the manual activities, the prerequisite, if this is already released for the customer, the priority, the component, the category. So for example, this SAP note don't have any manual activities. There are some SAP notes that have manual activities for functional or for ABAP. There are some SAP notes that also have a manual how to implement or how to configure, like when you have some configurations or manual activities, they offer the step-by-step of the configuration. Going back to the report, in this button you can hide or show the filters if you want. If you click show, it will open all the filters. In this button, adapt filters, you can choose the filters that you want to show. For example, if I don't want to show customer assistance, I can just unflag here and click OK. And the filter will disappear. For instance, if you want to save this variant, you can click in Standard and Save As, and you choose a name for your view, like Brazil SAP Notes. You can set as default, public, or apply automatically. Brazil SAP Notes and save. Also here you can change the columns, sort the columns like want or group, and also you can export to a spreadsheet. So maybe your ABAPer asked you to download all the SAP notes related to a certain SAP legal change. So it's very easy to do that, and you can save and send for him the spreadsheet. So if you have any doubts about certain column, for example, I don't know what's the purpose of this customer completion status. So you can click here in this icon of help, and here in the help topics you can relate the field, the column, with the explanation. You can double click the field, and here you can see a brief explanation what this field is used for. For example, the company status is used to manage the implementation progress and get overview of the current status of different implementation projects in your company. Also, you can click on what's this app, and it will open the SAP help portal with more information about this app and the announcement of legal changes. And also you can change the news about announcement of legal changes app and the improvements that SAP is doing often in this new functionality. To deactivate these help topics screen, you just click again in help. Now we're gonna show how to manage the notifications. For example, you want to receive emails of any legal change that SAP is launching in the SAP supporting Launchpad. So you click here and manage the notifications, and here you can choose all the topics that you want to receive SAP changes or news, and you can choose the mail or SMS or in the Launchpad, and this will update you of any changes. Also, if you don't want to click in the app to go to this report, you can just use the link Launchpad support sap.com/#legal change notification/. Usually for the legal change that is very huge, SAP launch another SAP note for explanation. For example, for this case in United Kingdom, we have a statutory rate change, and if you click here, you open this communication and explanation SAP note that will refer the SAP notes that you want to implement. So this explains what the government of this country is changing. For example, when this was published, when this law will become a reality and this will be implemented for this country, the reference, the business background, the impacts. If you want to go to the SAP note that's linked to this announcement, and here you have a real implementation SAP note that's linked with that mother SAP note of communication, of announcement. And this is a real SAP note that you're gonna implement in your system. In this case, we have some manual activities and prerequisites that you need to check before starting implementation. And going down, you can see the manual instructions for SAP Note, and you can download this manual. And if you open, as I said, you have a manual with all the instructions that you need for implement these SAP legal changes. And SAP already offer you everything you need. Finally, there is a SAP note that is this SAP note 2381572. Stay tuned, do not miss legal change announcement. And this SAP note has a video that you can watch and see all these steps, how to create filters, how to monitor, follow up, create your notifications. It's very useful SAP note. If you want to take a look, I recommend. So today you have learned about how to add a tile to monitor SAP legal change announcements, how to use the filters of SAP report legal announcements, and create views, download the report, change the columns, and customizing according to your needs. How to search of new legal changes, how to configure your notifications and receive emails and message. Understand the SAP legal note main sections. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel to receive the next quick tips. Thank you and see you next time.